Hello everyone, and welcome back to the White River Subdivision that we're working on. Jeez, it's been a while. When was the last time I actually worked on it? Let me just check that real quick. I literally think it's been like almost half a month maybe? Well, half a year, sorry. Yeah, 6 months ago was the last time that I posted a video about it, but I've been working on it on and off a lot since then. So there's a lot more areas. I've updated it entirely to TRS 2019 as well, as you know, I started the route in Trainz a New Era. Trying to think of like different ways to kind of describe it. There have been a lot of things I have worked on that I probably should have recorded, like working on Verona. I built that entire place up and completely forgot to record it until after I was completely done, and I was mad for like the rest of the day. So, what I'm doing right here is just adding a bit more scenery to the back of Aurora, towards the north side of it. And whenever you look at it on the map, it's actually inverted because I started building it the wrong way. And I don't know if there's any way you can actually like flip the map to where it's the other way around. So whenever you're looking at it on the map screen, to the right will be the west, and to the left will be the east. It's weird with it, and that's purely my fault. Purely the way that I made it and designed it whenever I started it, because I just wasn't thinking whenever I started it. And here I'm just raising up a bit of the ground and using the plateau tool to kind of lightly give it a bit more height for the trees in the back, so you can see them a little bit better. I am using 3D trees. I don't exactly remember what they are. I think they might be built in to TRS 19. I don't really know. I can't really tell you right now off the top of my head. Yeah, so we're here in Verona right now, and as you can see, it's pretty much done. There's not much to Verona, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, there is a train station there, a passenger station. That might make it to where you can also drop off like mail and stuff like that. Might make that a thing. Might even make it to where you can drop off general goods there maybe. I don't really know. I'm experimenting with that. And so I'm just raising the ground here because I'm right now working towards Monett, Missouri, which is where technically the starting point on the route is. Technically, the route starts in Monett and goes all the way to Branson, Missouri, as that's what the White River Subdivision goes along. So it goes through, starting in Monett, it goes Monett, Verona, Aurora, Crane, a small town called Elsie, Galena, and I think it's just straight in, it's a long ride until Reed Spring, and I think there's one more town along that, and then it ends up in Branson. So, there's a lot of, there's a lot of towns that are going to be on this route, and on top of that, I'm also planning on doing the main line as well. From Monett to Springfield, Missouri. I do have that already placed, so it's not like it's something that's being thrown up in my head. I spent 2 hours placing the track in almost exact ways. So that's there for whenever I want to do it. And I probably will at some point, but I don't really know what I'm wanting to do with this route in terms of if I'm gonna publish it or if I'm just gonna keep it for personal use. I I mean, obviously, I'm showing all you guys it and all that sort of stuff. So you can see it along the ways as it grows and everything like that. So yeah. One thing that I did think that some people would have questions about is, I guess, firstly, what's the time era? Because it's not entirely, explicit on what the time era is. And also, is it a full 1-to-1 scale? So I'll go ahead and answer the full 1-to-1 scale. It's not a full 1-to-1 scale, but it definitely is close to it. It's not going to be, the exact length of it. I don't even know what the exact length of the White River subdivision is, although it does go all the way down into Arkansas, and at the moment I am not making it all the way down there. I am stopping at Branson with this. Possibly in the future, I'll keep modeling it all the way down to the very end of it, but the chances of that happening are, slim. That's still a huge ways off. So yeah, and all the towns are not going to be fully, based entirely on what it is in real life. Most of the track plan that most of the tracks that are going down, like what you're seeing here, this is based on what's there today. I use Google Maps in order to place down the track and, detail everything. So, I get a rough estimate of what it is, of at least what the track is, because I do live in this area. I live, in this surrounding area, so if I really needed to go and see a certain thing, I'm, not too far away. I can literally drive there and go see it, take a few pictures of it, come back and work on it. I have that luxury to do that with this build, and that's kind of why I started on the build. But I do know Crane, it's going to, I don't think in real life it ever had a train station there, but I do plan on putting one. In Verona, I had no clue where the train station was in it, so I just placed it where I felt was, reasonable with it, and also based on the buildings that are there today. Aurora is, there is, the town does extend north past the tracks. In this, it doesn't. It right there, it just cuts off straight into forest, which I'm probably going to delete a few trees with that. And sorry if you hear a little bit of squeaking, my chair is squeaky. So here we're back in Aurora, and I decided to go ahead and delete the station that was right there on the main line, because you just don't see that. And I already have that, the building in the back there, that is set up for the station. So, I have everything set up there, and also those locomotives in the back. I just keep them there for whenever I want to test a few things, so I don't have to place down one whenever I load up QuickDrive. I just have to go into there and do that. And I just realized I did not finish that fence, I don't think. So some of that fence is still under the ground, because I don't think I fixed that. So yeah. Also, another thing is there is a some track that also goes northwest. It's actually right here, in which I took that out, and I'm making it a small type of engine shed and facility, maintenance facility here. So locomotives, after running about a while, they could stop off here, get maintenance real quick, and then get right back out onto the road. And as well as, since as you saw there, I had a turntable there. Although some of the locomotives I want to run on the route, they're too big for that turntable. So I decided to go with something a bit different. Went and placed down an old turntable to signify that the railroad's changing and all that sort of stuff. By the way, this takes place in the 50s. I never actually answered that. The route takes place in the early 1950s. So I would say about 1953. Pretty much whenever steam started really getting taken out of service and everything like that. So, and here instead of turntable, I decided to put in a Y, just in you have a way to turn your locomotive around if you're running on the White River. So then you don't have to go all the way back down to Crane where there is a roundhouse and there is a turntable and everything like that. And then now we abruptly cut over to Monett, which I had built up off camera and everything like that. So the entire yard is there, all the tracks are there, and everything like that. So it's very bare bones right now because I haven't actually started on the scenery. Here I'm just getting the ground textures put in place. So I'm right now just putting down some ballast, in which I reduced the amount of ballast that goes off the tracks from what I initially had over everything. So what you're seeing here is what the final product is going to be in terms of the track ballast. Although on other parts of the route, sorry, I did go back and use the grass texture and kind of make the ballast just a little bit small, just because I feel like that's a little bit more realistic. And here we're just south out of Verona, and there's a little farm there, and I decided I would go ahead and put that in. It also has a little crossing there as well. Doesn't have any lights or anything like that, and isn't technically an actual crossing, but it is there. And this is something this is something I'm definitely going back and fixing, because I did too much with it. So I practically, what's there in real life is it's a small small hills. I mean, well, not really small. They're large hills, but they aren't onto the scale to where I've made these. Like these, I've made just mountains, and I'm kind of angry about that. So at some point I will go back and redo those. So I'll have to completely flatten it more than likely, redo those. So we're coming up to the end of the time lapse here, and I just want to go ahead and ask you guys, what do you think about it? What do you think about the music choice that I have in the background? I kind of went with something relaxing, something a bit retro as well. And do you want me to continue doing commentaries on it and that sort of thing? And just any of your general thoughts. So without further ado, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.